Welcome to 5339, a podcast about cycling for cyclists by non-pros. Let's get to it. Welcome to 5339 SShorts. Yeah, that's right.
I'm surprised you didn't fumble over that.
Well, I was going to go for like a little bit of Phil Collins, like Susudio, but I didn't want to. So we're going to try something a little bit different, and we're just going to talk about what just happened today. So give us the rundown, Nick, who just finished a Zwift race, right?
Yeah, so excuse the base layer and the messy hair and everything. So as expected, the new Dura-Ace 9200 is out.
Ooh.
It is 12 speed. It's semi-wireless as was predicted, which means that the shifter levers are powered by coin cells, and there's one battery still in the seat tube that connects to the front and rear derailleurs. What's interesting about it is the rear derailleur is actually not where the battery. So I think it provides for a cleaner user experience. They've unfortunately, we're gonna have to change the name of the podcast because they've replaced the 5339 group set with a 5440. That's in the Dura-Ace version. That's as the Pro Tour is getting faster and faster. That group set is becoming, or that chain set is becoming more popular.
Why don't they just go 64 tooth? Like, come on, just ramp it up big and just go big or go home.
But unlike SRAM, with their new group set, they are sticking with the 11-tooth cog at the bottom of the cassette. There will not be a 10-tooth cog. For the rim brake enthusiasts out there, I think we have one pro team to thank for this. There is still going to be a rim brake version available. My understanding is that the truly wireless version of the hoods are not going to be available with that, but I might be misunderstanding on that. So
what do you like about it?
So
I know we're both on the fence in terms of electronic shifting, and
yeah, I
kind of agree on something.
So from the Dura-Ace standpoint, there's nothing to me that really came out as a true surprise. We were just pretty much waiting for the official release, which finally came today at I think it was 12 o'clock Eastern time was when the announcement was official. What I wasn't sure about and what I was curious was what Ultegra was going to look like, which Ultegra is very similar. They've kind of followed the same model as SRAM, where all the electronic components are going to be the same. It's going to be 12 speed, which I think is a positive. So getting to your question, what they got right, the fact that both Dura-Ace and Ultegra are 12 speed, I think is a plus. That's a big plus. Shimano's also using the full ecosystem in the fact that their 12 speed mountain chain is going to be the chain of use for the road group set now. So it's going to be an XTR/Dura-Ace chain, kind of the way the 11 speed was. The packaging for that will get updated at some point.
So they're actually borrowing mountain.
No, they're keeping it simple by realizing that the chain is as good as it's going to get for both the XTR and the Dura-Ace drivetrains.
Got it.
And so they're not, instead of having, especially right now with the global shortage we're having, instead of trying to worry about producing two separate chains that are basically the same, they're just going to keep it as one. It's not the first time Shimano's done that. To me, the one big question that I had, and I think they got this one right.
I love this, by the way.
Yeah, is that the cassettes are compatible with the current 11-speed hub bodies on your wheels, so you don't have to replace your wheels. I think that's a huge plus.
I mean, consider everybody in the Shimano environment. You know how many teams, like not like pro teams, but like semi-pro teams, would have to retool and respec to if they were to go to a SRAM hub?
I don't know that those are the people that it really benefits. To me, it's the guys that we ride with that, you know, maybe have an upgraded wheel set and they're going to get a new bike with the new 12-speed, Shimano on it.
Yeah.
You don't want to have to buy a whole new wheel set or fiddle around with changing to the XTR hub body or anything like that. I mean, to me, this is a huge plus because you can take your 11-speed block off, throw a 12-speed block on, and from what I understand, there's not even a redish needed for that. So the spacing is going to remain the same, which is awesome.
I believe the term is wham, bam, thank you, ma'am.
Exactly. Another thing that I'm kind of excited about, and I didn't realize this was the first time this is available, but this isn't just a group set reveal. This is also a wheel set reveal. So there's three...
I found this to be really interesting, by the way.
Yeah, there's 3 Dura-Ace wheel sets available, but for the first time, there is a carbon wheel set available at the Ultegra level. So Shimano's bringing the price point carbon wheels out, which I think is, anytime there's a price point carbon wheel set that's coming out, that's a good thing. Whether it's in a price point that's low enough or not, I haven't seen the official pricing yet, but it's still
It's probably affordable at $3,200.
based on Shimano's wheel sets. I don't think it's going to be in that price point, but
I'm
for
guessing
the
if it,
Ultegra level, the Dura-Ace
yeah,
ones are probably going to be 25 to 3. I don't know
I'm
that for
thinking
sure.
that keeping in line with everything, like usually their higher end Ultegra, wheel sets are what 12 to 13, or at least they were like a year ago whenever I looked at
Yeah,
them last.
which might just be indicative of the age of the wheels, because I think it's been a little bit since they've come out with a new wheel set.
Here we go. The carbon 36 2100,
That's for
carbon
the
50,
Dura-Ace.
yeah, 2100, in the 60s or 2200.
So yeah, so I imagine then that the Ultegra ones are going to be probably in that $1,500 price
To be
range.
honest, though, what's funny is that, I mean, obviously a 36 mil wheel at 1300 grams for the set, that's pretty light. I mean, that's a
Yeah,
nice climbing wheel. But even with a nice 60, which I mean, I'm a fan of the 55-60 range for a carbon wheel at 1500, 1600 grams. That's pretty nice. I mean, we're getting a little bit into the weeds, but still, you know,
yeah. And the last big thing to me that they got right is they've changed the clearance on the brake caliper. So apparently
thank
there's,
God.
and I don't know what the additional clearance is, but there's more clearance available. So hopefully that's going to help with rubbing. So Chris Froome should be happy about that. To be honest with you, I'm a little underwhelmed at this, and I'm hoping that there's another announcement coming up soon. This is the first time Shimano's announced two group sets at the same time. So I'm hopeful that there's an announcement with a 105 something coming up, but I'm not positive that there is one. I'm just hopeful. I think they need to keep up with SRAM and the rival wireless group set release as of what, 2 months ago now. So I'm disappointed that there's not a 105 announcement, as even if it's an 11 speed 105 Di2. I
That
think
was
that
going
would
to
have
be
been a big.
the biggest thing I brought up. Like, it's incredibly frustrating that we're continuing to move in this arc of increasingly expensive. And yeah, I do get it. It is Ultegra and Dura-Ace that, you know, the top of the line, but we're continuing to move in this arc of focus on extraordinarily expensive upgrades, and they're kind of, I mean, ignoring 105 in some ways, and it will probably trickle down at
It'll
some
trickle
point.
down. It's just more of a, to me, it's a matter of when. I get the feeling based on some of the things that I'm hearing that once you get to a certain price point bike, it's we're probably seeing the phasing out of mechanical as a stock option, and it's going to go to electronic. So I'm hopeful that does mean that there's a 105 or a Di2 available at some point.
So I know you and I were talking before I actually hit record, but what's your perfect group set now that you have? If money were no option, kind of like a dream bike type
Well, so if money were no option, it would be a different answer. I think to me
reasonable.
the most reasonable combo of a group set right now is the SRAM rival axis, but with the caveat of using a Shimano cassette because you don't have to change your hub bodies.
I do like that a lot.
Now, obviously, if money were no object, I'd probably have a SRAM red and
Oh,
just say
dude,
to hell with
can't
it.
be, can't be. If money's no object, if you're gonna be the richest man in the room, you might as well go campy.
As Luke said,
Yes.
if you have a Campagnolo, congratulations, you're very wealthy. But yeah, I guess I'm just generally underwhelmed with this, only because with all of the leaks that were out there, we kind of knew what Dura-Ace was going to look like. I pretty much assumed what Ultegra was going to look like because they typically follow, and one's just a more cost efficient version. I'm underwhelmed because I was hoping that there was going to be more down the line of the trickle down.
Yeah. I mean, I same kind of whenever you texted me like, "Hey, I think you sent me the GCN link first," and
I actually haven't watched that, so I watched.
I won't spoil it for you, but there is somebody that needs a haircut. Anyhow.
He's been needed a haircut for a while. No, I watched Shane.
Okay. Yeah,
I,
I mean that's
his
yeah.
his are pretty detailed. I really like the way he presents it. So
I will say I do like the fact that, they are focusing back again on some of the higher gear ratios. I know you and I have a very different style of cycling, and
well, so I this comes down to another, like, this is something that's kind of funny that you like. I get why you like it, but it's still because Dura-Ace line is focused on the elite racers, and that's the only reason a 5440 is an option in this, just because the pace of the World Tour races is continuing to get faster and faster and faster, and so those guys need a bigger gear to spin. And so it's funny to me that you're like, you complain about the focus of the development being at that end of the spectrum, but yet like there are things that you like because that they're developing for that end of the spectrum.
Yeah, I mean, I'm an enigma basically is what I am. I don't like expensive, but yet I want the 5440 Grupo. Like I love 5339, as it may be evident, but you know, I do like adding more mechanical advantage to be able to hammer a little bit more and, you know, push myself at a lower cadence and really get the power out. And like I said, I mean, you and I have a very different style of riding, but
Well, and yeah, I mean, I don't typically spin out until, because I like higher cadences. I don't typically spin out as quick as you do.
I can spin out on a 50-34-11, like, you know, no problem, or 50-11, no problem. But although I'm not doing any spinning out of any sort right now, but
No.
so
But yeah, we certainly aren't the first to talk about this, but we figured we'd give our take on the big release of the day. Shimano, I'm sure you're not listening, but if you are, keep us in the loop. If you guys are making an announcement further down the line, we'd love to be a part of a 105 announcement if there's something coming, and
I would
we're looking
love to
forward to that.
I would love to see if they came out with a new 105, even if it was like Dura-Ace previous generation with a semi wired. Like, you know, I like
Well, and that
I
was kind of my thought. It was, were they going to make basically the old wired 11 speed like Ultegra, convert that to a 12 speed, which all they really have to do is the internal sprockets to make it a 12 speed, and make that the 105 level. I mean, I think that would be an improvement. I think they would still be behind, in my opinion, they would still be behind SRAM at that price point, considering the rival is fully wireless, the same as the Red and the Force. Sorry, totally blanked there for a second. So I think they'd still be behind, but at least it would get them closer to level. And like right to me right now, Shimano's quite a bit behind in the electronic market, and it's evident that that's where they're putting a lot of their R&D, because I didn't get the impression that there was anything new coming from a mechanical standpoint anytime
no,
soon.
no, but I do like that they finally did something with Pioneer that
Yeah, so
purchased
that's
that
the
the
other
power
thing.
meter.
There's power meters at Ultegra and Dura-Ace level. Those aren't going
My
to be
God,
available
is it
till,
pricey though?
yeah, but they're not going to be available till 2020 at some point.
The
Availability
Ultegra,
for this group set, the bikes actually we should be seeing bikes available currently. From my understanding of the timeline, the Dura-Ace is supposed to be available for components or as a full group set here within the next 30 days or so, and then within about 30 days after that, you're going to be able to piece together the group sets. So we'll see
yeah,
if that timeline
but
holds up, considering the way the global supply chain is. But yeah, that's 9200 and 8100 Ultegra.
all right, you heard it here last.
So that's
Be
it.
sure to listen to the podcast if you guys get a chance. Check us out where anywhere podcasts can be found. And if you like to see more of these shorts or whatever we're calling them, I don't even know because we just made it up 15 minutes ago. But
Yeah, this was post race stupid idea from Nick.
this is called Andrew isn't doing anything because he's broken.
Incapacitated.
Yeah, I know. I'm still very capacitated.
he found the he found the limit of the coefficient of friction of his tires in that particular piece of gravel.
And yes, yeah, words. So, but be sure to subscribe, like, comment, lambaste us in the comments. Go ahead. I don't care. Whatever. Thanks for listening.
Hammer on.
Hammer on. It's like an EDM thing. Like you'll shift and it'll be like.
I do think that would be funny if you could like select the noise that your group set makes when it shifts. So like every time you shift, it's like the lightsaber effect. Like the front ones, like the turning on or turning off, and then the rear ones, like
I would love to be able to shift down or like shift up or and it go every time. Just like it's the wrong gear. Congratulations, you've messed up.
I don't think you need to program it that. I think you can just change the
I mean,
the
I could
indexing
always,
on it, and then it would be the wrong gear.
well,
And then it's getting really costly to change gears every time. So you're gonna think about it.
I could just do the sound I make whenever I hit Green and Tunnel. That would be awesome for every
Good.
shift. Auga. That was a poor representation, but my chest still hurts. So,
All right, I'm gonna go shower.
yeah, you were first.
I know. That's why we shouldn't do YouTube.
We're faces for radio, voices
Yeah,
for
and
text,
voice for text.
and your internet sucks anyhow.
I know.
See ya.
Later.
Bye.